The heroes and legends of Star League are all gone. Maru is gone. Classic is gone. Dream is gone. These players we've seen in Star League finals are all out. Got an empty throne, and now INnoVation wants to mech his way through ByuL here again to make history. To mech history, perhaps even. We'll see what he can do.
To mech history. It's really all going to come down to, does ByuL have an answer for it more than anything else? But quick look at the maps. Coda, Iron Fortress, Expedition Lost, Echo, and Terraformed. So, you know, we did see ByuL getting rid of Vani Research. Obviously, terrified of mech on that map, which makes a lot of sense, but still a few good maps in there for INnoVation to do his work on.
Yeah. Cactus Valley is INnoVation's eliminated map. And everything else, you know, just kind of random order there. We'll talk about each match before it happens, you know, map, I should say. Keep you guys updated on that. Somebody took a screenshot, but there's no way I could have memorized that.
Yeah, it all happens so quickly here in Star League. But here we go, both players, ByuL and INnoVation. First map is going to be on Coda.
Yeah, you know, we even had Cameo Byung in those interviews talking about the mechanic style, and you know, for ByuL, this quote, this Michael Jordan quote, seems to be the way. Like, you can't, if you run into a wall, you know, figure out how to climb over it or go around it, because beating mech here is going to be his challenge in beating INnoVation. Because INnoVation now probably the best, most practiced, most finesse in his mech play TBZ player in the world.
Yeah, his style is a little bit different from everyone else. He loves to get to those battle cruises a little bit faster, and when they get there, if they get enough of them, it's almost an unbeatable sort of composition. But we did see a little bit of hope from the Zergs Rogue in Pro League last play day. It was a very impressive style, a lot of Vipers, a lot of Hydras. Maybe ByuL will want to go down that route. We'll have to wait and see.
Absolutely, Moonblade. ByuL said in that interview his final words to let the best man win. I think that's what we're going to see here. Let's jump into game number 1 on Coda. Down here in the bottom right in red, the challenger in this match, it's ByuL.
And up here in the top left, we do have the blue Terran INnoVation, the wall. The robot.
Yeah, the robot.
The mech.
That sign that we had there was just briefly describing the sort of state of Terran and mechanic play, and it was, at the end there was something about INnoVation specifically. I saw only the beginning of it, so I couldn't say, but it looked like it might have been something along the lines of if he can beat INnoVation, he can almost defeat the mechanic style in itself.
I think that's a pretty fair thing to say. INnoVation seemed the scariest so far at that style. He really hasn't figured out. And yeah, I mean, it's all up to ByuL, I feel like, to have an answer for it. And so far, like a lot of Zergs that we've seen have not had an answer. Not an answer that's really something you can just go back to. It's either a surprise tactic, a rush, or they've just acquired enough bank in the late game to keep making an army again and again and again, and then eventually whittling down the Terran.
Yeah. Some other notable things about that interview, just it was my first time seeing it actually. Because I was on a trip for Japan for a few days, for those who tuned in late, so I was a bit late into that first game. The flight got moved, unfortunately. The way that ByuL wants to win this series is he wants to win it with a 3-2, so he can actually show, you know, he wants to show the best games to the fans, because he feels like he's been somewhat of a disappointment in recent times. So he hopes that he wins an exciting series. He wants to win it, but he doesn't want it to be easy. He wants to earn it. I think that's pretty cool.
That is cool. I think that's certainly going to be the case as well. He's going to have to work for this one. Starting things off nice and slow from both sides here. Now seeing that CC first from INnoVation. He wants to keep that greed up and running. See if he wants to go into Marines, or are you going to go straight for that Reaper? It's going to be Marines. Probably just wants that faster factory so he can get to the mech style a little bit easier.
Yeah. Faster Hellions, faster control over the map. And any sort of pressure you can delay the third base on for someone like ByuL is obviously quite good. I mean, a Reaper is important for scouting, but I feel like when you're so good at meching and transitioning into the early stages of mech, you're such a safe player anyways, and you pressure so much that almost nothing is going to get by you. You don't need a Reaper scout.
Yeah, like I agree, but certainly like everything's going to help in the early game because the early game is really your weakest point. If you can catch out that Roach Warren or a Baneling Nest at the right time, you essentially win the game from there. You're in such a better position than you would be if you have to defend and be on the back foot, defend with like Hellions against Roaches or something like that we see sometimes.
Yeah.
Just one tank changes the game in the early game.
Absolutely. And, you know, the Hellions are going to do such a similar job to the Reaper, just obviously a bit more delayed. And they're not going to be able to regen and jump over cliffs either, so.
You can always see that Hellion run-by attempt as well. Like Hellions can poke the front just a little bit. But Link Speed is going to be out just a moment's time. Very quick gas from ByuL. Make sure he does have that ability to stop Hellions in their tracks.
We do have a quick second gas with this starport as well, so we could be seeing some Banshee play coming to this one.
Yeah, and we do see it as well as a very quick lair from ByuL, so looking like he wants to go into that pretty quick 2-base meter opening. Always a good choice.
I think the fast lair is such a great opener against somebody who's known to go mech because your faster mutas can help deal with Banshee play. Obviously, you're going to have quicker Overseers for detection, and you can shut down Hellions as well with this kind of play. You're safe on 2 bases. You can start pushing your creep spread out, which is important versus this style as well.
Oh, look at these! Look at that timing with the Hellions. Comes down as the drone makes its way towards the third base. Yeah, I completely agree with what you're saying there. You know, mutas will force the Hellions and the Banshees off the map and give you a lot more time to get up all your bases.
What are your predictions for this series score-wise?
I think it's going to be 3-2 in favor of INnoVation.
Wow. I was leaning more towards a 3-1 from INnoVation.
Yeah. I think the first couple of maps, or especially the second map, gives ByuL a pretty big window for to start winning games. This one will be a little bit tricky for Mech. Getting that third base is pretty easy for INnoVation, and it's going to be up to what ByuL can do before they really get solidified on 4 base.
Very important scout here, by the way. As we're talking about Mech.
As we talk about Mech,
he goes Stim.
He goes to engineering base as well. So
I was like thinking about really nebulous thoughts of the future. I wasn't even, my eyes were off the production tab. Yeah, he's actually going Stim here, so this is a bit uncharacteristic. It's kind of tricky.
Well, I mean, that's one of the greatest powers of a Terran player. If you can do both styles at the top level, like it's going to be entirely up to the Zerg to identify it and then deal with it. Because if, like, we see right now, there's no Baneling Nest currently, which is a huge problem.
Yeah.
That's going to come back to bite him in a big way, considering Stim is just about to finish, and you don't have a Baneling Nest.
Yeah, and he can't get Baneling speed right now, which is what he would love to be researching at this moment in time.
You can't even get Banelings right now.
Yeah.
If he goes for a drop or an attack with a sufficient amount of bio, you could just die.
True. He's going for 8 mutas first, dumping all that gas into those mutalus. There are already turrets on the way as this has been scouted, and I don't feel these mutas, in such a small number at this point versus a Bio Terran will do a lot of damage, and they're definitely not going to do a lot for the defense.
Yeah, it's going to be where he can find. Currently, the Natural does not have a turret, so there it goes down now. But, there's some options there he can fly in for, but yeah, he's not going to find too much. I think it's just more to give him some space and some ability to scout what's on the map and stop those drops in their tracks. But yeah, he's kind of behind in a big way when it comes to like Baneling, speed, upgrades in general.
Yeah, I really worry about that Baneling speed. And not having the Banelings in general was a bit of an annoyance, a bit of a risky situation, but without having the speed, we're about to have 4 medevacs on the map with 20+ Marines and a few Hellions. Pushes at the third base, or it just pushes to put that creep back, are going to be so tough to stop, without that speed.
Creep spread is actually fairly impressive at this point, though. ByuL looking very efficient with it, and he is actually lined up a 4th base towards that center. So he's getting the creep spread out nice and early there. As long as he has like enough Ling and Bane to stop any sort of bio pushing on and destroying the active tumors, he'll be in a good place.
Well, This Viking definitely going to help zone out with several turrets to support. Hard to find anything. Looks like he can actually hit this reactor. Of course, he will be hit by the Viking, but it's not going to kill anything. So this is a great pick-off here. Cutting down the production of Marines by half on that barracks. And that's just going to further lower his Marine numbers. It takes forever to build a reactor. It takes like longer than it takes to build a starport to build a reactor, so it takes a while.
Takes a long time.
Very annoying to replace.
Still, you know what? I'm liking where ByuL is right now. He's behind in that 1-1, but it's finishing up fairly soon. INnoVation in no hurry to push out. He does have that 1-1 finished as well, but remaining fairly defensive. And while he gets that wall up at his third base, you know, deflects anything, making sure he has enough sort of bio on the map as well as that Widow Mines to begin the push.
ByuL is going to have +1 for his Mutalisk. He's still going to have the Baneling speed and the 1-1 upgrades. He only has 6 Banelings with this, but if he made a few more, he could actually hit this third base really hard, especially if he draws the units to the main base with these Mutalisks.
Yeah, it's still wide open right now. I actually really like if he went for that counterattack. He could do a lot of SCV damage.
Oh, he's going to go for it. Meanwhile, Queens are going to get picked off here. It's going to really further eliminate this creep spread. INnoVation is not paying attention here. He's scanning and pushing on the creep, but here comes Speedbanes right into his main base.
Oh, this could do a lot of damage to the SCVs. He needs Link to follow up there. He's doing a lot of damage, forcing all the units back.
He gets 6 kills only. Definitely could have been better.
He's
Stops
getting
drilling claws, maybe?
No, he doesn't. Just not. There's SCVs on point.
I think INnoVation could be very happy with how that went. That could have been disastrous.
That could have been a nightmare. I think at the very least, it stopped the bio pushing on that 4th base. It gave ByuL a lot more time, which is also a scary thing in itself.
Yeah, ByuL's up to 76 drones now. More support for these turrets. Targets down that Widow Mine, though, before it can activate. The big stem, some of these units coming back to chase. You need to be careful these medevacs. I'm really worried about that 1A into the main base. If those mutas were hunting, could have killed a medevac for two for sure.
That's right. We do see a lot of Link Bane on that right side looking to do that counterattack. Only a bunker to save it. And it's not even a boxed-in bunker. It can be surrounded.
Yeah. Seeing the secondary wall up with these Tech Lab barracks, which is kind of cool, but they're very exposed as well, so if he loses control of that area, he's going to lose a lot. Looks like it's going to be 2 Tech Lab barracks and 1 reactor, so a little more Marauder production can start with here. Just got his first Marauder. Ooh, Widow Mine hits here are excellent.
You see that wrap around with more links, but there is a Widow Mine there as well, waiting.
Oh, man, here it comes.
Oh, he's scooting around it as well. So close.
So scared those Banelings were going to get hit by it. INnoVation is pushing this Mutalisk ball back.
He's still on 3 base though, Wolf, which is a pretty big deal right now. As we do see ByuL, you know, comfortably getting a 5th base, going into Hive Tech as well. The longer this goes on, the worse place he's going to be in.
Yeah. But keep in mind as well that 3-3 is now on the way. So, you know, he's going to have this moment where he gets really strong. But if he doesn't have that 4th base to follow it up, if he loses his army for any reason, it's going to be tough to reinforce. Let's finally take out that pesky Widow Mine. Doesn't look like he got any kills.
Not to mention, ByuL is also in a pretty nice place when it comes to bank. He can remax very quickly. Gas count's a little low. But look at this. Another counterattack. Looking for that 3rd base, but it is blocked off currently.
Well, now the wall is open. Can replace it pretty easily. Ooh, this is definitely going to be a good fight for ByuL. Stops the Widow Mine in its tracks.
Oh, Baneling's going to get on top of those SCVs while they can. Here we go.
Oh my god, Moonblade 13.
So much damage being done. Beautifully done from ByuL. Gets out with most of his mutas. He even deals with the turret. Everything going his way right there.
Yeah.
He is in complete control of this game, Wolf. He is so far ahead right now.
He's got a Hive finishing. He's actually only going to be about half a set of upgrades behind in 3-3 should he decide to buy it right away. He's got almost enough gas for it. His mineral bank is off the charts at 2,200.
Look at this, even identifying that drop on the left side here. Muta's not going to chase it down there. They're going to keep the pressure on.
All right, there's a 3-3. 7 more Banes to accompany this army. Yeah, he saw the drop. It looks like maybe he thought that INnoVation was going to turn around. It's not the case. That 5th base is vulnerable now.
Well, look at this. Yeah, that 3rd base as well, taking some damage. That's actually going to get shut down with some nice Baneling hits.
Okay, he decides to lift. Oh, man, he's going to kill this bunker full of Marines. Just go right for the turret. These mutas have +2, and they're not taking this fight lightly, man. They're just taking out so many more SCVs. 13. INnoVation down to 50 SCVs to ByuL's 84.
Uh-oh, now the natural exposed. There's only 1 turret there and a few Marines. Not going to commit to it there. But still, he's really keeping INnoVation in his base, which is a horrible place to be as a Terran. You want to be on that map, you want to be denying creep and keeping the pressure on, but there has been no pressure all game long.
He's not really losing Mutalisk besides that one mistake with the Widowmine here either. Like, he's fighting as long as he can, then getting out. He's being very efficient with these Mutalisks, and he's keeping his Baneling count high. 40 Banelings on the map right now. Wouldn't not even mind to see him actually kill this refinery and get out. Looks like that's what he's going to do.
And slowing down gas at this point as well is a huge huge blow. Obviously, INnoVation want to be investing into Thors, mines, whatever he can. Especially now that Ultras are going to be the next choice of tech.
Yeah. I think mines are great in the late game, especially versus Ultras. You know, they're very efficient. They're very cost efficient. They're very cheap, easy to produce. Killing that refinery again here, very annoying. They're actually going to start working on some tech labs. Stop some Thor production maybe. Burrow is on the way for some burrowed Baneling traps as well.
I do like that. These meters are in a kind of a hot spot right now. They're at the back here, but can they actually find a way out? The last thing you want now is losing your Mutaflock, because they are still very vital. And they complement Ultras so much at chasing down drops, chasing down Medivacs, while everything is getting pushed back by Ultras.
Just going to kill these eBays. Small victory with 3-3 already on the map. But, you know, if the game goes super late, turret and building armor, maybe.
Oh, here we go. Looks like he's going to be pushing in deep here.
Oh, yes, he is. And you know what? He's going so far on creep. The Baneling hit's not the best, but he's had so many Banelings that at least he's able to push it back for now. And he's turned INnoVation around, which is really important, because if INnoVation continued to pressure there, you would need more Banes. He just spent a lot of money on those Ultras. And INnoVation takes a 20 supply lead here. He lost, again, a lot more workers, but at about 60 Harvesters on 4 base, you're still okay as a Terra player.
Yeah, you really are hurting when you have that many workers, but I feel like so many units are getting picked off for INnoVation with these meters. They keep flying around, they keep finding, you know, Marauders and units that are stray right now. This is a bit of a costly mistake. I feel like ByuL, if he goes all the way, there's simply not enough buffering for these Banelings. You can't just have pure Baneling.
Oh my god, he's going to get the CC! He gets it with the +2! Cost him a few mutas. Looks like about 7 mutas went down there.
I think that's worth it. He can repopulate them.
Let's drop over here. Okay, Queen's there, should be fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, this is definitely replaceable. The CC much more difficult to replace right now.
Big hits there, but he gets out with most of them. Here's the counterattack. Look how many Medivacs there are. Currently setting at 17. That is way too many, Wolf. That's insane.
Yeah. 7 Ultras here. And, oh my god, I just can't even believe 17 Medivacs. That's like, is it Flash? Is that you?
I think he just never stopped making them. Well, here we go. It's actually not the best fight for ByuL. That's a pretty decent competition against Ultras.
Yeah, he's got the Marauders perfectly placed right in front of those Thors. Thors will finally go down here, but the Widowmine hits not the best. And he actually gets cleaned up here, but at a big cost. If you look at the supplies, something to note as well is, you do get Bill, you're like, well, he's up 40 supply, plus 34 supply. That's the only supply, really, in army here is in these Medivacs. Like, he's half of his army is Medivacs.
Yeah, that is a big problem. I think those mutas came in a little too late. They should have been circling those Thor shots a little earlier. And that really meant that a lot more Ultras went down than they should have.
Yeah, the Marauder placement was really good for INnoVation as well. They were just enough in front of those Thors that the swipe damage didn't hit them.
There's always that problem, too. If you're investing too much into Ultras and Banelings, you just don't have enough Lings that are going to help out so much at absorbing Marauder shots, triggering, you know, Widow Mines that aren't going to hit all your Banes. There's a lot of reasons why you need a lot of Lings as well.
Yeah, range damage is always going to be better than melee damage if you can get it in a spot where the melee units just simply can't. They struggle to hit, right?
Exactly. Well, Mutaflux kind of back in action now, sitting at 18. This planetary is going to be a hard task to destroy, especially with that army coming up the right side.
It looks like he might just go for it, but that's going to cost him a lot of those Banelings. He just goes for it. He's going to kill a lot of SCVs with this as well. Mutalisk hitting the 3rd base again. But this opens up a counterattack potentially here for INnoVation.
He even gets one of the orbitals. It's going to be a hard task to kill this, but I guess a lot of SCVs are getting whittled down as well.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Wow, so much damage being done here. There's pretty much no mining right now for INnoVation, except from that natural.
Yeah. He needs to do this counterattack pretty hard.
Oh, wakey, wakey.
I think,
lose everything.
I think this is a good opportunity for him. Good splits here, but he's still on creep. The Banelings get through his Marauders, and here come the Mutalisks back to support. And again, it's just an issue of there's nothing underneath these Medivacs anymore. It's a lot of Medivacs, but what's underneath?
At the very least, they're getting kind of whittled down and wiped out now, so he won't have an absurd amount. Widowmine's not finding anything.
Yeah. The medevac's buying him some time, arguably, as well, to get this reinforcement group up here. Good Thor micro with these medevacs. And that's a lot of Marines, actually, behind these Thors doing that extra damage.
Yeah, doesn't want to commit too far to this. He does have such a supply lead, though. 60, 70 supply lead. More and more mutas on the way, as well as Zerglings.
The Thors only have +1, you know, but it's just so hard for him to actually afford those extra upgrades, and he's barely able to remax, or attempt to remax, I should say. He's not able to remax. Good targeting here by ByuL, forcing that Thor drop back, sending just a few Mutalisks after it.
Only 4 medivacs, soon to be 0, actually. The last one goes down, and that's simply too much units. I think we're going to see INnoVation tap out with those GG scans on the way.
GG scans going down. GG in the chat. ByuL takes game 1. Already starting to surprise some people. Not only did he win game 1, but INnoVation did not mech in game 1.
I think that was a mistake from INnoVation. You know, maybe wanted to try and mix it up, catch ByuL off. Maybe mech was in his mind, or he was hoping that would be the case. But I don't think you want to be going ByuL against ByuL. He's actually one of the best at fighting it.
Yeah, especially, I mean, he's really, really good at 2-base